Painting for me is like a form of expression. Just the way I speak, I explain a few things to people in words. I prefer to do that.
Finishing a painting from start to finish was very often what I did. So it got very difficult to wait in between and ponder and think, or then give it time for another day to happen. So this meant a lot of endless hours.
I did not care about the posture, I did not care about the way I was sitting and the way I was working. I only cared about my work.
Turpentine combined with the linseed oil and the fumes that the turpentine gives out were getting a little toxic for me.
Many of the chemicals used in the painting field may be a little volatile or may give rise to some fumes which can be reactive and probably allergic to some.
I used to sneeze, and my eyes used to water, my nose used to water. And that allergy was, that was a problem. That was a major problem. Even today, though I love to work in oil, I cannot work because of this problem.
So if a person specifically does develop such a problem, he or she has to look into it and try and work around it, or try and improve the ventilation in the area or in their studio so as to not have this problem, because a chronic problem over a long period of time can give rise to a major problem. I won't say it would be life-threatening, but it definitely would be a little interfering with your work in the future.
Initially, the initial months of my pregnancy, I was fine. It did not even occur to me that this might be a problem. But towards the 7th month, actually, I was painting a lot and full swing because I had a show coming up. So I just paused for a bit. I checked with my doctor, and he said to just kind of take it easy. Try not to use turpentine, because in that close vicinity definitely could have some side effects. And I was painting mostly on the floor, because that's my style. I spread out the canvas on the floor and I bend over it. That's how I work. After delivery, I had a very severe backache which lasted almost a year. I figured that those 3 months that I really exerted myself during my pregnancy, it kind of had started playing, on my back. And after delivery, it just completely went out of control.
I presume she's bending forward far too much than what she should. Does it mean that the surface on which she's painting is horizontal, which means she should keep it more vertical, or maybe on an easel at a slightly more acute angle, or almost 90 degrees to the horizontal, which probably will make her stand up and probably help her to paint better without any strain on the back.
Till the time I would finish my work, I would not stop. And continuously I used to be kneeling on my knees and working, and at the same time there was a complete curve on my back because I was doing it on the floor, and that weight coming on my knees.
The position in which she is painting, she shouldn't be bending forwards or bending downwards and painting or doing her work.
I went on like this for quite some time, and there was a day when I felt that I cannot sit down because my knees had started hurting. It was partially because of the posture, partially because of the way I was kneeling down on the floor and working.
The knees showing up that it's not able to remain in that position for long. This fact is also compounded by the fact that she is 50-year-old, so she is menopausal. Well, this does also pose an additional problem of early osteoporotic changes, for which obviously she has not been counseled.
Having a standing posture instead of bending or sitting can reduce muscle pains and swelling. Although it is recommended that one should take small breaks in between, almost after every 20 to 25 minutes. This is how back bends when you get pregnant. And when you work in this position, it bends furthermore, thus causing backaches.
It was always great painting with a lot of passion, with a lot of involvement, endless hours, that just went into when I wanted to complete something. But that exhaustion was so fruitful in the way that it gave me a lot of happiness and, achievement, that I needed to not let go of that style of work. But then over time, slowly, it started taking a toll on very specific areas of my back. And this kind of holding up the hand and working at a height which was higher than my shoulder at times, that there used to be such a lot of severe pain. And then the nights it used to be more like, trying to apply this balm and that balm and, take a shower, a hot bath, and it used to really work very well for that night. And anyway, who was bothered about, what the pain was all about? It was more about having achieved something really great on a canvas. It was only post a certain period when I realized that I had a kind of a slight dislocation. My orthopedic surgeon said, no, it can't be, because this is not something which has happened just overnight. Because if it had happened overnight, it would be very severe pain and he would have run to me, And I hadn't run to him at all. I had gone to him because I was just upset about the fact that this whole shoulder didn't look like it should be where it should be in that place.
So I think the bottom line in all these cases, probably the same points are coming up again and they need to be just emphasized. The first thing, like we all doctors keep saying, is prevention is better than cure. And to prevent it, you need to understand the body well enough, one. Two, probably you need a good teacher or a guide who will train you well enough. And on these two counts, if you were to work in a proper posture or you were taught to work in the correct posture, maybe the fatigue caused to the joints and muscles will be lesser and your output will improve. And at the same time, we need to do specific exercises of these muscles so as to be able to work on them.
Always consult a doctor if you have a persistent problem and get it checked. Keep your workplace properly ventilated and work activities hygienic. Take small breaks of 1 to 2 minutes after every 20 to 25 minutes of working.
We're all educated, we know that we should be doing all of this, but we just don't, because when we get into that work, I know you want to go ahead and come through with that final result.
So I cannot give up painting, but I have made alterations in my lifestyle. I've started exercising and I've started doing some yoga and some pranayama. That is keeping me more fit and giving me more energy to carry on my work.
That was one thing that I really regret. It took me a whole year to recover from that backache. I wish I had been a little bit more careful in terms of just bending and exerting my back that much.